As a kid, I came across a video of Philip DeFranco, and I believe I've talked about this before, but basically, he says that we should be able to joke about everything or nothing at all. And at the time, I was like, well, I think there are certain things you shouldn't be joking about. And then I listened longer, and he explained that everything can be offensive, right? Whether it's a fat joke, whether it's a religious joke, whether it's about a dog, whether it's about a woman or a man, whether it's about a kid or whatever it is, right? It can be offensive no matter, right? It can be offensive to someone, right? So in that regard, should we just not say any joke? You tell me a joke and I'll tell you how it offends me, right? And so what I understood was that, yeah, I think that you should be able to joke about anything, as long as it obviously comes from a good heart, in the sense of, you're actually trying to make people laugh, and you're not just trying to take a dig at someone, like, oh, tall people are cunts because they can look at the fucking sun. I don't know, like, you know what I mean? Like, it has to come from a place of not love, but a place of, like, just trying to make everyone laugh. And I think most comedians, especially the good ones, are really just in the business to make people laugh, smile, and forget about their day, right? So, yeah, I'm a big believer in that you can joke about anything. And I'm glad I learned that early, because a few years later, after I'd watched that video, my dad had got cancer, and my youngest sibling would, sometimes crack a couple jokes about my dad having cancer. And, yeah, it definitely can make me laugh, it can make me sad sometimes, but majority of the time, it was so crazy, it was such a crazy joke that it made me laugh, and it made me forget about the real sadness at the time. And I think that's what comedy's about, right? A lot of comedians take their pain and they converse it into comedy and joke about their life, about how messed up it's been. And normally those are the best jokes anyway. Anyway, I talk about this because there is something that is a little bit similar, but it might be a bit of a jump for some people, but stick with me. I was watching a debate, and there was this person in a wheelchair, and that's disabled, and one that's not. Right? And they were having this debate, whatever they were debating about. Honestly, it got a bit messy. But the person in the wheelchair started to make excuses, say things about them being in the wheelchair and they can't do certain things. Now, I don't know what her disability was, but let's just say she was paralysed from the waist down, right? Now, she wasn't saying I can't walk because I'm paralysed, right? If that was the case, okay, no, fair enough, you can't physically walk. That makes sense, right? But she was talking a bit more about her health, right? And I think, again, we'll pull it back a little bit. With the comedy, either you joke about everything, you joke about it all, right? And I think with the excuses, it should be the same way. Either everyone has an excuse not to do something, or we don't have an excuse at all, right? You could say, I didn't have the best coach as a kid, so I can never be a professional footballer. Okay? You could say that because you didn't go Harvard University, you can't be the smartest person ever. You could say that I'm not rich because my parents aren't rich, right? These are all excuses, right? And they're very shit excuses, right? Now, if someone in a wheelchair goes, I can't get fit because I'm in a wheelchair, you go, okay, yeah, I mean, it's an excuse, and yeah, it's pretty valid. It's a pretty good one. At the same time, you can still get fit. Let's say, again, paralyzed from the waist down. Different. You have different scenarios, right? But the reality is like when I look at this person, I go, well, you can get fit. It's gonna be fucking hard, especially compared to the rest of the 99% of the world. But you can control what you eat. Yeah, you still got working hands and arms. You can do a couple bicep curls, maybe a couple push-ups. Maybe, over time you start doing pull-ups. Who knows, right? Yes, it will be hard, and it's a very, very good excuse and doesn't make it valid. And I know this might be a bit controversial. I know I'm going to a very extreme place, but it's the same place for the comedy, right? The extreme place of like making cancer jokes about my dad, right? I think it's either one or the other. I spent my whole life, listening to people waste away their lives because of excuses. Oh, I can't do that because of this. I can't do that because of this. Man, you can do anything in this world, but you put limitations on your own mind. Oh, I can't stop vaping because I need something in my hands. Oh, I don't know how to solve a Rubik's Cube because I've never learned how. Learn how then. I don't know, like, there's always an excuse, there's always something in the way of what someone wants to do. And I think it's ridiculous. If you go around your whole life just making, blockades for yourself, aka these excuses, you're never going to get anywhere, right? And again, I know the wheelchair example is a very, very extreme case, but it's needed. Because not everyone in the wheelchair is overweight. Not everyone that's paralyzed from the hip down is overweight. You can still do things to lose weight. Again, you can control what goes in your mouth. You can control what you do with the rest of your body, what you've got available, what the very limited cards you have, you can do. Does that mean you're going to get a six-pack and ripped? No. You can get a bit more healthy. And I think that goes for everyone, right? Because there are people in this world that are saying fuck these excuses, right? There's a kid, I forget what he has. I'm pretty sure it might be cerebral palsy. Not too sure. Or no, I think his spine was deformed. I'm not too sure. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know. But him and his dad. I think I've talked about it before. Him and his dad really work on him being able to walk. And this kid should not be able to walk. Like, really shouldn't be able to. And he's fucking going for it, man. He's fucking going for it. Every day, like, he's just trying, and he's trying. He might never walk properly. Oh, but that ain't stopping him. That ain't stopping him. And it's people like that I'm looking at this kid, man. I'm like, oh, this kid's got heart, man. And his dad is there to fuel that. Some people think that it's not right to keep that pushing him. And as a kid, I used to think the same thing. I would have thought the same thing. Don't push too much. Don't push too much. But you know what? I think that if I was to have got pushed to, let's say, read and write more as a kid, there might have been a lot more upset in the sense of me being shit and not being able to do it. But I think I would have been a bit more appreciative of it when I was an adult, right? Even if I still couldn't read, right? Or I still couldn't do it to the best of my ability. And I think it's less about, like, this kid walking. I think it's less for me about him walking. He might not ever be able to walk, but that's not the point. It's the point of really giving it your fucking best, really hammering down with that hard work, right? Because let's say, the age of 25, he says, all right, screw it, let me get on to something else. The dedication that kid has built up to do what he did for so many years, he's going to transfer that right into something else, and he's going to work so hard for it, teaching him skills that nothing else will teach him in this world. No one else can teach him. So kids, don't ever have excuses for anything. Even if it's a good excuse. Even if it's the best excuse that could ever be had. Don't let that stop you. And don't let other people feed into your excuses. Oh, you can't be a basketball because you're 4 foot or whatnot. Alright, cool. Don't let people feed into that. Just go for it. It might be ridiculous. Yeah, it might be ridiculous. And maybe you might not take the direct path. And you might sway off and go somewhere else. But that's not the point. The point is not having that excuse, not having that barrier right in front of you.